Welcome back. With me right now is Juanita Skillman. She is the board president of United. I have to apologize to her. I'm not wearing purple.
That's all right, I am.
A lot of times I do, yeah, when you're on. I just forgot about it today. I know that it's your favorite color.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Well, great to have you here today. Your meeting was Tuesday, of course, and I think it was about, I forget, it was pretty short, 2 hours and 35 minutes?
Just
something like
afternoon,
that.
yes.
Yeah.
So I was really proud of that. We're getting better. Of course, we didn't have a lot to do this time.
Right.
It all depends on how many items are on the
Right.
agenda and how much people need to talk about them, etc. But it went out very well, I thought. We really just had 3 big items on the agenda, and the first one was changes to our smoking policy, and that failed. It was a tie, 5-5, and according to Roberts, a tie is failure.
Right.
And so we tried to make some changes to the smoking policy because we've had complaints from a number of residents with asthma and chest and lung problems, etc. And it's certainly the trend all over to
Right.
bar smoking. And so we were going to, this particular thing, barred smoking in the common areas.
Okay.
And so it did not pass. You can smoke in the common area as long as you are 20 feet away from any
Okay.
building.
All right.
Otherwise, it remained the same, and it includes vaping, electronic cigarettes. It's not just tobacco, but it includes anything that you inhale. And so that will remain the same for now. I'm sure it probably will come up again.
Yes, I'm
because
sure
it
it will.
seems to come up periodically. And we do have regulations in United which allow buildings, if everybody, all the manners in the building want to make it a no smoking building, they can do that.
Okay.
And that's for perpetuity,
yes.
which means if you sell your share and somebody else moves in, they have to be non-smoking too.
Okay.
So we have a few buildings like that, and that is possible, so just throwing that out there. The other 2 passed unanimously. We did the update to the policy for distribution of materials. There's a new state law that went into effect last year that said that we have to allow people to distribute materials for all kinds of different things, particularly political, educational,
Right.
whatever. And
Yeah.
some of the changes are they can now ring your doorbell and ask to speak to you, those kinds of things, unless you have a do not disturb sign up. They're very cheap. Go over to Home Depot, you
Yeah.
can get one. If you have a do not disturb sign or no solicitation sign on your
Right.
manor, then they can't do that. So that puts it back on the resident. If you don't want to be bothered, if you don't want solicitations, you can do that. And then of course we had one more standard, this one on gutters and downspouts. As we've been updating all of our alteration manual, and this is just another one of those. I think we're just about finished with that. And then the big one under new business, which we had lots of cheering about. It's taken almost a year, but we have done all of our due diligence. We know anything and everything, the tests that have been done, and so we approved a resolution, and it didn't have to go to 28 days, member comments. We approved a resolution to discontinue the use of herbicides containing glyphosate, and to approve an unbudgeted expense, which we had to do a supplemental funding of $15,000 to use the alternative herbicides.
Okay.
Because Roundup is the cheapest, but we looked
Right.
for other ones that did not have glyphosate in it, and we did, in our extensive testing, find something, but we did have to put in an extra $15,000 in order
Okay.
to do that. As a side, I might mention, I went to the Laguna Hills City Council on Tuesday night, and they're just starting this. I sat there and I kept thinking, deja vu all over
Yes.
again, because they were arguing the merits of glyphosate and should we, shouldn't we, and
Right.
the costs and all of this kind of stuff. So I went up to the Director of Public Works afterwards and I said, do you know that we have done this for all the studies we've done? He said, no, we only look at cities. So all we had was information from Irvine and Orange. They've got a lot more money than these ones down here. So anyway, I put him in touch with Kurt Wyman and get him copies of our studies, et cetera, and hopefully that will help them not have to recreate the wheel.
Yeah, and that's, that's kind of nice that cities and communities are sharing this because...
Well, it is, but they have to know that even
Yeah.
though we're not a municipality, a city, we're
Right.
almost as large as some
Right,
of them,
right.
and we do a lot of stuff, but they had never even looked or known that we
Right.
had anything.
Yeah.
And you certainly know, because all the stuff that's been on your show, that we have thoroughly
Yes.
did this
Yeah.
for the last year. So we'll share all of that with them, and I thought that was just kind of interesting. The big thing I wanted to really push this morning, and I'm asking all of our residents out there, think about running for the Board of Directors. We're going to have 3 seats available come August, September. And it's coming up because July is when the nominations go in. You fill it self-nominated and you fill in the material and say why you might like to be a director and give us your resume. And then the election itself takes place in August and is verified in September. And we need people. We've got such talented people out there in our village and wonderful backgrounds. And of course, the main thing we're looking for is people with common sense who are not pushing just one specific item, but are willing to look at the village as a whole and what's best for the village and how can they help and bring their talents to bear. So this coming Tuesday, June 18th, 5 o'clock in the boardroom, we're going to have, we've called it a lot of different things, meet and greets, potential candidate meeting, whatever. So we'll have our board there to answer questions, to talk about what it means to be a board member, and to be frank about the time commitment and those kinds of things that you really need if you want to run for the board.
Yes.
We'll also have some very nice refreshments. And so we encourage people just to come and listen and learn. And it is not a commitment when you come on Tuesday. Again, it's just learning what it's all about, and then we hope that we can persuade you after that to maybe commit to running for the board. And that's my big push for today.
All right, very good. And we'll make sure to announce that as well.
Good.
All right, you take care.
I
Thank you
appreciate
very
that.
much. Always good to
Thank
see
you.
you. Have a good
Okay.
weekend, and we'll be right back.